So guys, how you doing? So as you can see, my predictions from week 23 has been pretty good, although still some bad ones I predicted there, but 2 out of 10. I've actually got Fulham and Brighton correct, and Everton and Leeds correct. Did not expect to get 2 correct predictions, but hey, I'm happy with that. Even just last week when I said 1 out of 10 is not enough for me anymore, but 2 out of 10, I'll happily take it. So let's hope I get some more predictions right in week 24. Without further ado, here are my predictions for week 24 of the Premier League this season. So here we go!
Brighton versus Everton. So that defeat at Fulham continues a real slump in form for Brighton. I think that's, how many? 1 win in 9 or 10, I believe? Now I'm saying that is a real bad run. So I'm not exactly sure where Brighton are heading right now. In that first half against Leeds, Everton should have lost by more. But in that second half, they were much better. They could have won that game easily. So it was quite a hit and miss for them. But I can say this, if Everton are to get more points, they need to start up in their game. Even after the Aston Villa win, they still need to do a lot more than that. Because the unpredictability they come up with is just, insane. So this game, I'm not expecting too much from it. I don't think Brighton are going to win. But I do think Everton have something up their sleeve, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 Everton win. Leeds versus Arsenal. So against Everton, it was also hit and miss for Leeds. In that first half, they were brilliant, and they should have scored more. In that second half, they couldn't preserve their leads. They let Everton right back into it. You could say it was a good point for Leeds, but in my case, should have been 3. And that gap's getting quite narrow right now with West Ham getting points, so Leeds might want to watch out. Arsenal. When I say these games matter, you have to win if you're in a title race. And look what's happened. They've had chances to perhaps get a point from the game, but 1 lapse in concentration, 2 brilliant goals from Manchester United has just left Arsenal completely bamboozled. And the biggest sucker punch for them is Man City and Aston Villa both winning. So now the gap is now 4 points. So this win is a must-win game for them. Not quite sure how it's going to go this one. I mean, Leeds could give Arsenal a really tough game and come out fighting. I've got a funny feeling that, Arsenal will slip up again, but my gut is kind of saying 2-1 Arsenal. Wolves versus Bournemouth. So back to square one for Wolves. I mean, Man City were too good for them, honestly. So every video, I don't want to keep saying that Wolves are going to go down because we all know they're going to go down anyway, so that gap is way too long. Unless a miracle happens, but nah, not for me. A big win for Bournemouth at the weekend against Liverpool. Played exceptionally well, despite blowing the 2-0 lead, but they managed to nick it right at the death. And right now, I think that's 2 wins in how many games? I think it's 13, 14, 15, and it's that many games. But let's see if this win can kick off a very good run of form for Bournemouth. So this game, I think Bournemouth are going to win this one. I think it'll be a closer scoreline than I think, but I think it'll be a 2-1 Bournemouth win. Chelsea versus West Ham. So 2 games for Liam Rosenior, 2 wins. Against Crystal Palace, they were excellent, Chelsea. A very, very comfortable win, and yeah, things are on the up for them right now. Only 2 games in for the new manager, but it seems to be working right now. So what challenge can West Ham give to Chelsea? Because West Ham have won 2 games in a row to narrow the gap between them and Nottingham Forest to 5 points. Against Sunderland, I must say that is a surprising result, which makes this game even tougher to predict for me. I think West Ham will be in the mood, but Chelsea will be as well. And I'm expecting a very competitive game, which I feel will go in the way of Chelsea 3-1. Liverpool versus Newcastle. So once again, Liverpool completely lacklustre against Bournemouth, despite showing character to come back from 2-0 down, but mistakes were made in that last minute to lose the game late on, ending a 13-match unbeaten run. I'm telling you right now, Liverpool, I just don't know where they're going. Like, if they want Champions League or European football, they can't be playing like that. Newcastle, I can say the same for them, really. They may have had chances to score against Aston Villa, but other than that, they were second best. So it's important for both teams to try and get a win here, which I don't think either of them will get. Because based on how Liverpool have played all season, and you just never know with Newcastle right now, I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. Aston Villa versus Brentford. So very important win for Aston Villa at Newcastle. In that game, they were clinical, well composed, and very calm. Yeah, they were well worthy of the 3 points there. Also, to narrow the gap to 4 points between them and Arsenal, they couldn't, could they? Could they? I mean, it could happen. Possibilities are endless. I'm surprised with Brentford, by the way. A very rare home defeat to Nottingham Forest. I feel like Brentford were unlucky to not score in that game, but then again, they weren't resilient enough. 2 opportunities for Forest, they take them. So I would feel Brentford should not have lost that game, but it gives them something to think about. And this is not going to be an easy game for them. This is Aston Villa. And I do think Aston Villa will win this game 2-1.
Manchester United versus Fulham. Now that was a surprising result for Manchester United at Arsenal. At times they had to dig deep, and there were times they were quite nervy, but one mistake from Arsenal, and 2 moments of quality from Manchester United to win them that game, and 2 games from Michael Carrick, 2 wins. Things are looking up for United. And Fulham got back to winning ways against Brighton. I felt they were the better team throughout the game, and they had to come back from 1-0 down to win the game. And once again, Harry Wilson showing up when it matters most. So this game, I can only see a Manchester United win here. Those 2 wins, looks like it sets the tone to go on a good run of form for United, but who knows. And I'm going to go for a pretty big scoreline, a 3-0 Manchester United win. Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. A very good win for Forest at Brentford. It was a really hard-fought display. They had to frustrate Brentford for a majority of the game. But 2 chances, Forest take them both. They go home with the 3 points, and a big 3 points, to keep the gap from them and West Ham getting any smaller. Not much to say about Crystal Palace though. They are still on a very bad slump, struggling for goals, struggling for results, and it was a really poor performance against Chelsea. So in this game, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see how Forest follow up that victory. But Palace really do need to find a way to get results soon, because it's looking pretty bad. So this one, a bit of a shout, but I think it'll be a 2-1 Forest victory. Tottenham versus Manchester City. Very interesting one. So Tottenham, once again, pretty average against Burnley. Went 1-0 up, only ending up saving the game right at the end. But still a very average performance from them. And Man City getting back to winning ways against Wolves. I mean, they had to win that game. They dominated that game. Could have been more than 2-0, but you know, win's a win. And the gap between them and Arsenal is now 4 points, so the title race is so on. Although in recent times, Tottenham has not always been a happy hunting ground for Man City. But I think City will win this one. Could be a big scoreline, but my gut says it could be a 2-0 Man City win. Sunderland versus Burnley. Sunderland were absolutely shocking against West Ham, surprisingly. They're still unbeaten at home, but their away form is something they need to sort out. Burnley almost did it against Tottenham. Would have been a bonus 3 points for them in their battle to stay up, only to concede last minute. Yeah, so it's a little bit hard for me to see Burnley staying up at this point. For this game, I think the result is going to go in Sunderland's favour, 2-1. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for week 24 of the Premier League this season. To me, they look okay. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those. Some big shouts like Liverpool and Newcastle drawing, Nottingham Forest winning, and I don't always predict a big win for Manchester United, do I? But we will see how it goes, and these predictions will stick. So that is actually it for this video, so feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please leave a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys next week for another prediction video. Peace!